Tuesday here in the blue room. Remember, the final that we're going to have here is comprehensive. Everything that we have done from day one until what we finished on Wednesday is going to be included in this final. It's one of the things that makes this class hard, okay? But you have a unique set of tools to help you succeed. Part of those tools have to do with the Prepware Online piece that you've been using since September. And you also have Big Blue. So Big Blue, let's review here, turn in your hymnals to Big Blue, to the table of contents, shall we? And as we look at the table of contents here of Big Blue, let's get our reminder of what it is that's going to be on this puppy. Table of contents, contents with table. All right, so Basic Aerodynamics, Chapter 1, everything, okay? Chapter 2, Aircraft Systems, everything. Chapter 3, Flight Instruments, everything. Chapter 4, Regulations, yes, everything, okay? Then, as we turn the page, Procedures and Airport Operations, not everything. We haven't gone through everything that Big Blue has compiled here into Chapter 5. So, you are going to pick this up with Fitness for Flight, and in my book it's showing Chapter 5, and it begins with page 23. Fitness for Flight, Aeronautical Decision Making, Collision Avoidance, and Aircraft Lighting. Those things are going to be here on Chapter 5. Now I want to show you Chapter 5, and I want to show you these things here first before we get to the part where we start talking about prepware, because I want to show you that as well. Weather, okay? Is it going to be everything here in Chapter 6 of Big Blue? No, it's not going to be everything. It will be the heating of the earth. It will be circulation and wind, temperature, moisture, air masses and fronts, stability of the atmosphere. It will not be on clouds. It will not be on turbulence, thunderstorms. Will it be on wind shear? Yes. No icing, no fog, no frost, because we haven't gotten to that section in your actual textbooks. So, those are going to be the things that we cover here on Chapter 6. Weather services. Haven't gotten there. So no. Chapter 8, Aircraft Performance. Only those things pertaining to weight and balance. The other stuff, no, we haven't done those yet. En route flight, haven't gotten there. Navigation, communication, negative. So that's what we cover here in Big Blue to help you prepare for this final. Now, prepware. All of the questions, as I said before, are going to come from prepware. So what I want to do is I want to show you here prepware. Hang on here. Let me go back to this. Now, changing over to this. I want to show you, this is an example of what my prepware looks like. It's very different, well, not very different, it's different than your prepware. So I just want you guys to know that mine is just a little bit different. But what I want to show you here is under the Tools section, this is how I make your quizzes, and this is how I'm going to make your final. So I go to the Quiz Maker thing here, and it gives me the search and it gives me the quiz preview. Now, what I want, do I want to give you the ATP airplane multi-engine test? I don't think so. So with this, I'm going to scroll down until I get to something that you guys may have actually seen. How about this? Private pilot airplane. Yes, that's what I want. Now you'll see here that under the all category of everything, every question having to do with private pilot airplane, you'll see that they list 732 questions. That changes. ASA comes through there and they update this, and so these kind of move around a little bit. Used to be that the FAA maintained a database of around 800 questions. Supposedly those questions have gotten fewer. So that kind of makes sense that we would only have 723 questions available for you to study here. Are these going to be all of the questions that you are possibly going to look at from the FAA? Probably not. But What they are going to be are the questions that you're going to be responsible for here for your final. And it is going to be in that 90% certainty part to get you prepared to take the actual exam, the FAA knowledge test, in Grand Junction in May. Now, if we go through here and we look at the categories, one of the impediments that we have with regard to this system, and I've talked about this and I've told you what my feelings are about this, I don't know how many times. One of the issues has to do with the fact that these categories do not correlate very well at all with the chapters in the book. And that's been kind of a problem. One of the reasons being is because these prepware, these test prepware products are not tied to one specific book. They can be used with multiple books. And the problem there is that you kind of have to hunt and find the information that you need for the particular test that you're going to be taking. So if we look here, and if I look under basic aerodynamics, you know that every single question under basic aerodynamics, all 46 of these questions are fair game on your 65 question test, right? What about aircraft systems? Yes, all 46 of the aircraft system questions are going to be fair game. What about flight instruments? Yes, all 59 questions are going to be fair game. What about regulations? This is a biggie, guys. This is a biggie. 150 of these questions are going to be part of that exam. Now, when we have our meeting on Monday at 4 o'clock, remember, Monday, MLK Day, we're meeting here in the aerodrome at 4. Tyler is bringing pizza and donuts. I know. So, 4 o'clock, my assumption is that there's going to be people that's going to have questions on these regulations, okay? That's if you've looked at them. Just saying. So, here under procedures, or here, weather. Are we going to get all 60 weather questions? No, you're not. And again, the reason being is because if you see some of these questions, like for instance, that first one that you saw, frost, well, we haven't really talked about frost in the book. Now, we have talked about frost, that you never want to fly an airplane with frost because, again, that kills the lift on your airplane, and we do not fly with frost on our wings. But we haven't gotten to that section yet in the book, so you're not responsible for this. So, there will be questions, however, that we have covered that you will be. For instance, a question like this. That is going to be fair game. Okay, because these are just the basics. These are things that we have covered. So it's going to be a little difficult. So you're going to have to kind of weed through there, determine which questions work with what we have covered in class and in the book that we've read. Those are going to be fair game. Now, this is probably going to be another toughie. Aircraft performance, 60 questions there. Remember, of these 60 questions, only the ones pertaining to weight and balance are going to be part of the quiz, okay? Aircraft operations, procedures, and airport operations. We talked about the human element of flight. And wouldn't it make sense that the human element would be in airport operations? Yeah. So you're going to have to weed through those. So as an example, Class D airspace with this, we haven't gotten to that yet. Approaching the landway with the VASI, we haven't gotten there yet. Procedures, pattern entry, these we haven't gotten there. But a question like this, operating an aircraft at cabin pressure altitudes above 12,500 feet, MSL up to and including 14,000 feet, supplemental oxygen shall be used during Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie. This is going to be these types of questions that you will be responsible for, because you'll notice in this is actually even a regulatory question. So these are questions that you're going to need to know. Here again, another oxygen question. tailwinds and positioning here. We haven't gotten to that. And then as you go through and as you look, we could look at this. Hang on. I'm looking for these things because I have to hunt and find these as well. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go over here. Hang on. See what we've got here. This is part of the thing that I have to do, is to go through these and find these questions of the stuff that we have already talked about. Wow. This is the part that's hard because, again, you just have to just go through these. Now, okay, so let's take a look at this question right here. Question number 3832. Large accumulations of carbon monoxide in the body result in... So, these are a type of a question because it's part of the physiology piece that we talked about early on. So this is an example of the type of question that you're going to find here from that human element piece. You're going to see it in big blue. You're also going to see it on prepware. Prepware, you have to work a little harder to find it. Okay? So just know that. All right? Those are going to be the questions that you're going to find there. The 5 hazardous attitudes. Aircraft identification with the lighting, with things, anti-collision pieces. Those are things that we have talked about. Those are things that you've been quizzed on. Those are going to be the things that you're going to have on your final. Okay? So, I just wanted to show you kind of how I have to piece that together. And, you know, it's tough for everybody. It's not ideal. But these are just the tools that we have. And even as tough as these are sometimes, you've got to understand, these really are, of all of the tools that are out there right now available to us, about the best there are. So, this is what we're doing. Now, take the rest of the class period today, and I want you guys to study, okay? I want you studying. And when I say studying, I'm talking about for your final. Okay, talking about stuff for this class. Monday, 4 o'clock, here in the aerodrome. What door is going to be open? That's correct. You're going to text me if it happens to be locked, right? Yes. All right, so there you go. Enjoy your study. Text me, email me with any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you at 4 o'clock on Monday. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good one.